there is a need to sort of change the attitude because for many years those documents were in the archives, but researchers would go there and think that this is bad Arabic, right? That this is not useful. This is just was something that was produced by these African Muslims who are not really very good Muslim because there is also the assumption that the original Muslims, those who are practicing genuine Islam, are the Arabs, and Africans are just practicing a copy, not a good one, right? So whenever they encounter those things, what they would say is just this is magic, right? And then they discard it. Now there is a need to go back to the archives, and not just the national archives, but because what you have, for example, in the case of Brazil, is that many of these things, many of the useful archives are privately owned. So you have to have the networks that allow you to get back to those communities. And in my own work, I talk about also repatriating these things, not physically, but actually taking copies and getting to these communities, as Professor Ngom suggested. And because we have specialists, for example, of numerology. So if you want to understand a document that is dealing with numerology in Brazil, you need to take it back to West Africa where you find experts because most of the time, we scholars in North America don't have that training, right? So there is a need here to be in dialogue, right, with communities in Africa, but also in the African diaspora. And that also requires that institutions invest in African languages. So there is this need here to sort of go back to the archives, but also there is a need to invest in African languages, in also building these networks of people, of scholars traveling from the United States to Africa, etc. And that for that to happen, also, I think migration or mobilities between Africa and the United States need to be facilitated.
This year, in partnership with Howard University and Boston University, we celebrated our 10th annual State of Education Conference following the Gold Road. Our wonderful speakers guided us through the medieval kingdoms of Mali, Ghana, and Songhai, and we all emerged ever the richer because of the knowledge that they shared with us. So, over the next few weeks, we will be sharing a few of our favorite moments with you. Our State of Education Conference is rooted in a simple truth. The self-determination of Africa and the diaspora are inextricably linked. A rigorous generative understanding of Africa's history helps illuminate that connection. By following the Gold Road, we traced how West Africa has shaped the modern world, and we reclaim history as a compass that helps us to understand who we are, where we come from, and how we navigate an ever-changing world. If you are a student, educator, researcher, or just curious, we have wonderful free resources for you to enjoy on our website, so please check those out. In the meantime, stay tuned.